What a great story. We are now going to take a look into the life of Linda Dorian, a single mom who is now struggling with cancer. Producer Kevin Excande reports.
Linda Dorian is a single mother trying to prepare her 11-year-old daughter for life and all its obstacles while battling ovarian cancer. This is her story.
Just before Christmas, I thought I was having a heart attack because I was getting really bad pains down my arm and my back of my shoulders. It was really awful, and I kind of ignored it until finally, about a week later, I decided I better just go to the emergency room. And I went. I was diagnosed with ovarian cancer, and they wanted to do emergency surgery, but it was near Christmas and I wanted to get through Christmas for my daughter. So being diagnosed, the first thing, when I cried, I didn't cry for myself, I cried for my daughter. It was because it's her I live for. She's my life.
One of the hardest moments in Linda's life was telling her daughter she had cancer.
She knew something was wrong because I don't think I told her right away. It was a couple of days. And every day she kept saying, you know, I feel like you're holding something from me. I feel like you're hiding something. You're not telling me something. And then I did finally sit her down and told her about the surgery. And then she just said, at least it's not cancer, And I'm thinking, okay, what do I do? Do I lie to her or, tell her the truth? And I know I had to tell her the truth. Remember? You were scared, and until I told you that my hair was going to fall out and I was going to look really funny, then you were okay. But I think you were okay with it when when you came with me for chemo, remember? Mm-hmm. Or actually when I came home from my first chemo. And remember I was pretending I was doing Kung Fu, and my shoe flew off. And then you felt okay. And then you came with me for chemo, remember?
She means a lot to me because she's fun to be around. She's really funny. And we like to talk about stuff.
But Mommy, I want to be an actress, so of course I won't be shy. What's your name?
Like how school's going, and she tells me that she's not going anywhere, and things like that.
A friend said, with my cancer that she doesn't, I'm not going to be around long, and she was pretty upset. But I just told Megan that, I'm going to be around for a while yet. I'm not going, anywhere anytime soon. So soon, anytime soon is not within the next 2 or 3 weeks or months. I'm hoping that, I'm hoping to get past the 16-year mark, If I get past that, even to 17, her being 17, I'll be happy. That's what I'm aspiring to, because I know that she'll be almost a woman. She won't need me as much, and she'll be able to cope a little bit better. So that's what I am fighting for. I know she loves me. She's a good girl. But, she really is the one that keeps me going. She is the one. She's, as I said before, when I first got the news, and I cried, and the only thing that came into my mind was Megan. What about Megan? And that's it. It's all about Megan.
There are many things you have to do when a loved one passes away, one of which is plan a funeral service. Our producer Alex Young looked into the life of Jeff Caldwell, a funeral director at Humber College.
My name is Jeff Caldwell. I'm on faculty in the funeral service education program. I've been on faculty since 1999, and I've enjoyed pretty much every minute of it. It's been great. It's the culmination of two things I love doing. One of which is being a funeral director, and the other is being a teacher. My experience in a funeral home, I guess, working in a funeral home, began because I needed a job. And a friend of ours said, I happen to know that the funeral home in town seems to always be looking for people to work for them. I thought, no kidding, who wants to work in a funeral home? But again, I wasn't adverse to it. I thought that would be interesting, if nothing else, to do that for a bit. And so I contacted the owners, and I went in and had an interview, and was hired immediately, basically. I just thought, yeah, that's amazing that I can have that kind of an impact and make such a terrible experience somewhat easier for a family and help them through that difficult time. I found the job to be extremely satisfying. The overall embalming procedure typically will take better part of a couple of hours. We'll use something like this, which is a leg rest. So when the body is on the table, the legs are flat on the table, and then there's the surface pressure against the back of the legs. By lifting the leg up and placing the heel on this bar, or if the deceased is quite tall, we can place it up on this bar, we relieve all of that surface pressure along the back of the leg. And by doing that, then we're going to have more thorough preservation and more thorough distribution of arterial fluid. Blood products, anything, bodily fluids that are coming off the body need to be cleaned up. When you have a wooden surface, you've got a porous surface, and if we have blood or bodily fluids that drip onto that, they'll be absorbed into the wood, and then they sit there, and then they can release the pathogens back into the air. As you can see, the sink is right built into that, so it's totally seamless as well. So no cracks or crevices or anything like that that bacteria or viruses or any other pathogens could reside in. The body lift is here because our society is getting bigger and heavier, and where the average dead body would probably be somebody in their 60s, 70s, 80s, weighing from 100 to maybe 200 pounds. These days we're getting subjects who are 300, 400, 500 pounds in weight, and if we want to be in this business long term, we have to look after our own health, and we can't be ruining our backs lifting deceased bodies. If the individual has died from any traumatic death that has caused disfigurement, or if the individual may have died from a disfiguring disease, emaciated bodies due to cancer, or if there was a growth, a tumor growing, skin cancer in a visible part of the body, our students are learning how to remove that disfigurement and restore the body to an acceptable appearance. So in doing that, there's a special wax that is used in our industry, and our students are all given a large chunk of wax and a plastic skull, and generally they're given a photograph and told, make it look as similar as you can. Some of the tools, I guess, of the trade, in some cases where there has been trauma, in cases where there has been an autopsy on the body, then it's the responsibility of the funeral director, as part of the restoration of the body, to put the pieces of the skull back together. And so there is what's called a calvarium clamp that's been designed. As pacemakers have been developed and then refined, the pacemaker is a life-saving device that's implanted under the skin and monitors the beating of the heart. When the individual dies, if there is to be cremation, then by law, we have to remove these pacemakers before the body is presented to the crematorium. They're battery operated, and when those batteries are exposed to the extreme heat of the retort, the cremation chamber, the batteries tend to explode. Helping somebody out, part of that is being able to understand, or trying to understand, where they possibly could be in their emotions and in their grief, and when you do that, that family really becomes a part of you.